What's up, guys? Welcome to LootCast Ep.13. I'm one of your hosts, Dom, and joining me again, I have one of the busiest girls in the gaming industry. Not really. What's up, Cynthia? How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
To another week of the LootCast. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you guys didn't know, we are a podcast. We launch every Tuesday at 5 p.m. We give you the geeky, need-to-know news all around the gaming industry. We want to keep you up to date with everything that's happening out there. So thank you so much, because you guys are in the right place for all things gaming. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Over there. Do that right now, and make sure to hit the bell to never miss a beat for all things gaming, for reviews, news, and all kinds of things and more. So, we have a great show lined up for these guys today.
Yes, we do.
So, one of the things that I found, well, roaming the NeoGAFs is kind of a topic of the show, I thought. So, as I was scrolling through, there was a lot of news out there, but a lot of times they do like topics, right? So they have like discussion threads. So people will ask a question on there, and people will just constantly reply and kind of give their thoughts, things like that.
Right.
So one of the things that kind of struck me and kind of stood out in all of the threads was this. So, we want to know what's most important to you guys out there, and we want to tell you what's important to us in regards to either portability or graphics. So what I mean by that is, what's more important to you? Is it portability or is it graphics? So I thought that would be the topic of the show today, kind of to start us off, is to talk about what's important to us, but what's important to you, portability or graphics. And kind of what I'm talking about is in terms like the Nintendo Switch, right? That's the hot thing out there, and it is selling like hotcakes. And kind of what it's telling us is maybe people really don't care about graphical fidelity, as long as it's fun.
Yeah, me personally, I would have to go with portability. This goes back to when we had gotten the Wii U. It struck me as actually kind of a cool feature of, hey, you have this gamepad that you can actually play that you don't have to use on your actual TV. And I know one
Wii
thing,
U was close.
Yes, it was close. It didn't hit everything that I wanted. Because I know you would be playing your video games, and then one thing that you would have gotten me was Zelda, the Twilight.
Yeah, Twilight Princess.
Yes. Yeah. And I was able to play that with so much freedom on the gamepad using the screen, and that was amazing to me. One thing that the Wii U did not have, though, is the second you walk away trying to go to another room, and I thought
10 feet.
Yeah.
More or less.
The second you're out of face range of the console, it automatically disconnects and says, you have to go back into range, and I hated that. So
yeah,
I was really...
it was a pretty crap feature,
Yeah, I was really constricted to just being on the couch next to you while you played whatever console and video game you wanted to on the living room TV while I was stuck, using the screen. But it was still great that we were still able to play two different games.
Yeah.
Side by side.
And it's a really cool feature.
Another reason why I'm absolutely in love with our 3DS, because, again, the portability. I'm able to go from room to room without having to have that constriction, or restriction, just going anywhere I want. If I want to go on the road, I can. And we've done that before on vacations, when we went to E3 this last year.
Yes.
I took the 3DS with us.
And the Switch.
And the Vita.
Yes.
So again, portability is huge to me, and now with the Switch, it's even more. I can bypass graphics if I can at least take the story with me.
This is true. Yeah, so I mean, I'm in the same boat. So, graphics do matter to me a lot. I have my PS4 Pro, it's 4K, does the HDR, does all the stuff, has the bells and whistles. I have my gaming PC, bells and whistles, all the stuff, right? So it does matter to me, but one thing that this guy here has done is kind of change my mindset. Now, graphics still do matter, and there is certain games that it matters, right? But more importantly, what Nintendo is doing is they are providing us games that don't necessarily require that graphical punch, that they can be kind of played on anything, but what they are really fun, right?
Yeah.
and that makes portability kind of trumps graphics just a little bit in that factor, because right now when I'm playing something on the Switch, I want everything to be on the Switch, right? Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out next year. I want that to be on the Switch. I want Doom and Wolfenstein, they're coming for the Switch. I want them faster for the Switch. I want everything that comes out now to be on the Switch, just because I want portability as an option. I want to be able to take it anywhere, even if that's only to the bedroom or the couch as somebody else watches TV, or somebody else does something else, and I can still enjoy my game without having to sacrifice the television, right? So,
or put it on pause.
Exactly. So in that sense, portability, Nintendo they're hitting a home run, because they are trumping graphics with portability.
And it wasn't always like that for you, because you were always...
And it really wasn't. I love my portables, though. I do love my portables. But that's one of the things about them is this has that happy medium. It looks good enough.
Yeah.
So recently, one of the things that kind of sparked this is I started playing 2K18. So NBA 2K18. I wasn't planning on getting this game this year at all. It's been kind of the samey, probably like the last 2 years, right? I've kind of fallen out a little bit from everything that there is to do in 2K. So I was like, this year I'm not investing in it. But as soon as 2K earlier this year announced it's coming to this guy here, I was back on board, as long as they didn't sacrifice game modes and the normal things that you can do, the story mode, things like that. So I kind of waited, and when they announced that this is going to be a full-featured game, the only difference is it's running at 30 frames per second instead of 60 frames a second, which just means it's not as smooth.
Okay.
But still very playable. Once they announced that, I said, you know what, that's fine, because I want to play this game for the majority on portable mode. And it's providing me an awesome experience. It does have its flaws, but the fact is bigger games can come out to this guy. So I'm excited for that. So I thought that was like a super interesting topic, and it kind of got the hamster turning up here. And just kind of thinking I wanted to bring that to you guys. So one of the things I want you guys to do is, again, be a part of the show. I want you guys to always be a part of the show. Comment down below to be a part of the show. Get your questions read on the next episode or the one after, but comment down below and we'll be more than happy to read your questions or your thoughts on this topic. But tell us, do you choose portability or do you choose graphics? And do you have a Switch? Do you love it? Do you want more things to be on it? Let us know down below.
Or do you hate it? And
or
why?
Or do you hate it? And if you do hate it, why are you still holding on to it if you do have it? Because that's a little odd. Go trade that in. Go get a PSVR or a PS4 Pro or Xbox One X, or build yourself a PC, or
save up for the new one, the Xbox One X.
Yeah, save up for that later this year. But I thought that was a really interesting topic of the show. So, do you have any other thoughts for our lovely audience, our lovely community, our family out there? Do you have anything else for them?
Don't forget to subscribe.
Always. Never forget to subscribe and hit the bell to never miss a beat. Okay, so with that being said, we're moving on to the news. So, I wanted to start off with games that you guys are going to be playing this week. So if you're listening to this on Tuesday, September 19th, again, thanks so much for joining. Make sure you hit subscribe. But more importantly, we want to tell you what you're going to be playing this week, starting with games coming out today. So, games that are releasing as of today. First off, we have Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Do you remember this game?
I think I do.
So, Colton's not here, so I can say whatever I want about it. It's ugly. It doesn't look good. The story makes no sense. Go play Injustice. It's like $29.99 right now. Go check Amazon and eBay. Go play that. That is a far superior game.
I think it is too.
Marvel vs. Capcom, I love Marvel vs. Capcom. I have the first two on the Dreamcast. I have one on the Xbox. I think I have one on the GameCube over there. I love the series. One of the things I love about the series is it has that 2D animation, right? It has like those sprites. It looks beautiful. They changed it. It looks blobby and 3D-ish, but not good 3D-ish. It looks like a PS3 game. It doesn't look good at all. Now, granted, it does play well. I played the demo, and the gameplay, it feels right. But it just looks really bad. And then the story makes no sense, right? It's Marvel, so one thing, they don't have the X-Men, which is a big no-no. But what they do have is like new characters like Guardians of the Galaxy. They have Rocket Raccoon. One of his special moves is Groot comes out. You know, it looks semi-cool, but if it would have been in that 2D style
Didn't
art.
they have, was it Mega Man too?
Yeah, Mega Man, they showed Mega Man X.
Yeah, that really threw me off. And I think that's where the graphics just come in and it looks just all wrong.
Yeah, so it doesn't look good. Now, Colton's hopping on, if you know what, for Marvel vs. Capcom. He thinks it's the bee's knees. He tried the demo. He loved it. He raved about it on episode 8 or 9, something like that. He raved about it because the demo had just come out. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of fun, but it looks shitty.
Yeah.
So, tell us what you guys think. Anyways, that's coming out today, so if you got it, tell us why. And tell us, Game Looters, you guys need to play this game. Tell us why if we do. NBA 2K18 also just came out today officially. So it came out early on Friday for the Legendary Edition. That's the one I got.
No wonder why you played it early.
Exactly. It came out early on Friday, but it comes out officially today. And then I think the box copy for at least the Nintendo Switch doesn't come out until October or something. I think October 15th or something like that.
Okay.
But right now the box copies for the Xbox One and PS4 came out today. Pro Evolution, so PES 2018, this is a direct competitor to FIFA. This is the one that plays better but looks crappier, kind of in a sense. It doesn't look as good as FIFA does, as polished, but the feel is better. But honestly, football to me, see what I did there? Football to me it needs to be FIFA. I've been playing FIFA since I can remember.
Yeah.
I think the first FIFA game I played, and I think I have it in my collection, is FIFA 98 on the PC. That's the first FIFA game I ever touched. I'm aging myself just a little bit, but that's fine. But FIFA 98 was the first game I ever played. I think I was about 9 years old. And I played on the PC with mouse and keyboard. It was a little awkward, but it was super fun. It looked awful. If you go look at what it looks like now, but then it was like, oh, this looks so realistic. And it was really fun. Since then, I've been playing FIFA, so to play something different like PES, which is more recent, like in the last decade or so, I think since maybe like PS2 that I remember. If I'm wrong, put it down below. It just doesn't, it feels, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to me, but some say it's a better soccer game. Anyways, that's out today if you guys are soccer fans. Sorry, I ranted along there. If you guys are soccer fans, that's out today. Go check that out. And make sure, if you do want it, today will be the last day on Amazon. You guys can get a discount. You get that 20% discount. Today will be the last day, so act fast if you're watching this. Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. So I showed this game to you earlier today. It's kind of like a semi-shmup. It's kind of like when the worlds kind of automatically... they automatically generate. So you never kind of face the same world, again.
Yeah.
It's
really,
an odd game.
It was really strange gameplay. What did you say? It's kind of like a shooter up.
Like a shmup.
It seems funny in the sense that your character can continue to evolve with all these different little upgrades that you grab throughout the levels. And the adaptation seems kind of fun. Definitely not my type of game style. Though.
So let me tell you this. If you reached out, if you reached out to them and they suddenly sent us a game, would you play it?
Well, yeah, I would definitely plan to review it. Would it be my #1 first pick? Again, it's not something that draws to me, but yeah, I would definitely play it if you sent it to me.
Well, we'll be reaching out to you guys. We will see if they send us a copy. We'll reach out to them on the Twitterverse and see what they send. But I think it's about $20. I think it's $19.99. So it's not gonna break the bank. If it does look interesting, it's $20. It's a couple Starbucks coffees, maybe lunch. Make it at home today. I don't know. I'm just saying. But if you want to try it, there's that. Thursday, September 21st. We have 2 games coming out. 2 kind of big games. So one, Project Cars 2. Big game if you are a simulator car fan. It's kind of like Gran Turismo, Forza, but not the fun one, just like the one that's on like the motorway one.
Yeah.
What I've been hearing and seeing is it's really good. So I think if I read right, IGN gave it like a 9.85, 9 out of 10. They rated it really well.
Oh, that's good.
And it has been rating pretty well on Metacritic as well. I tried it at E3 and it was too simmy for me. What I mean is like I like a little arcadey style in my simulation. Forza gives me that right balance, right? Gran Turismo is super simmy. Something like Need for Speed is like very arcadey. It kind of gives you that balance in the middle because you have the rewind function. You know, there's a little silliness dabbled in there, right, to make it still known it's a video game. Project Cars is more in line with like Gran Turismo. It takes itself very seriously. It's all about the feel. Does it feel right? Does it feel realistic? But what I heard about this one is they are sprinkling just a little bit on it this go around. So it might be more popular. So if you guys are into a racing sim of this nature, go ahead and check that out. Because again, you want to pre-order it right now to get that 20% off on Amazon if you're a Prime member. We don't have any kind of affiliation with Amazon yet. But we want to promote it, so we want to save you guys money. So make sure to, if you're interested in that, do that now. And the other game coming out Thursday on September 21st is SteamWorld Dig 2. So this is a game that I kind of got semi-hyped about during the Nindies, when Nintendo had their showcase. This is a game I think is going to do really well, I hope, because the first one was really fun on the 3DS. I played a little bit of that. This one captivates me a little bit more just because of the art style. It has like vibrant backgrounds, the backgrounds like move, have like motion to it, because it really shows off like what the 3DS can do.
Yeah.
And then Friday 22nd, we have Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 coming to the Switch. So Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is a game that has been out on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and maybe the PC. It's kind of a game to where you create your own character, you live in the Dragon Ball world, and what you have to do is like you're like a time ranger kind of. You have to make sure the events happen like they happen. It's a real cool game. I'm interested that it's coming to the Switch because again, portability.
Yeah, and I don't actually mind playing this one either, considering Dragon Ball Z has been one of my favorite
franchises.
Yeah, ever. I watched it as a kid. I didn't watch it from the very beginning because I was, far too young. But it was still something that I loved to watch just coming home from school or waking up to on the weekends.
Yeah,
so definitely want to play it.
It's an awesome franchise, and I've played this game. Like I have it. I played on the PS4. I played it for a few hours. It didn't really grab me, but I played enough to kind of have a feel for the game. I did play the first one, and I played through almost all of the first one. This was kind of more along the lines of, it was like the same kind of adventure. They're kind of just telling it a little differently, so that's kind of why I wasn't totally into it. But with it being on the Switch, that could be a reason to re-look at it, because, you know, I didn't get the full adventure. So if you guys, I think you might be interested if you're in this kind of series, that's coming out on the 22nd. Also on the 22nd is kind of an oddball RPG, but for my Vita fans out there, because we are Vita fans, we love the Vita. Colton, we see you out there. We know how you feel about the Vita. We have Ys coming out on the PS4 and Vita. I think this one is Ys 8. So I saw this one at E3. I don't think you did, but they gave me a really cool pin. Thank you guys. I had the chance to play the game, and it's more Ys. This is an odd series. It's a series out of Japan. It's a different kind of RPG, but it is a very JRPG. So if you guys are into that game, you know about this game. I don't have to tell you, go check that out on Friday. Also, lastly on Friday, this is kind of the one that I'm secretly most excited about. I already own this game on the Wii U, Pokken DX for the Switch. So I'm excited about this game. I didn't even know it was coming out this Friday. As soon as I saw that, I'm just like, yes.
Now, I never really got into Pokken on the Wii U.
And tell them why.
It never captivated me. It's just something that, I don't know if it was the graphics or the gameplay, but it seems so boring.
Let me ask you this. Now that it's no longer stuck on the Wii U, but it's only going to be on the Switch.
I don't know. They have to do something with it to win me over. Because if it's going to be the same exact thing...
So they have a story mode. They do tell a story. You're as a trainer, you're leveling your Pokemon up. They tell a whole story. There's a lot of meat to it. The reason that I truly didn't enjoy playing it is because on the Wii U at least, player one, you have to play on the damn gamepad. And playing a fighting game on the big-ass Tonka Toys looking gamepad is not fun. It doesn't feel good. that's why I truly never really got into Pokken, because I love Pokemon. So like my probably my favorite franchise, probably period. You know, there's Dragon Ball, there's Batman, that come pretty close. Maybe they're the winners. I don't know. It's all kind of jumbled. Depends on my day. I'll tell you which one I like the most. But that's kind of how I feel. So I think it being on the Switch, I think I'm gonna play a heck of a lot more of it because of that factor.
The thing is, with me, I don't think I would have ever had that problem to begin with, because again, I played Twilight Princess on the actual gamepad for the Wii U. I never had a problem with that whatsoever.
But think of the difference, though, between an adventure game to where you hit A every 15, 20 seconds. You're mostly doing your clicky stuff to run faster. You're aiming to, you played fighting games. Think of like the twitchiness. You go B, 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 A, forward, left, right. You have to do all these things. Do you know what the gamepad feels like? It feels like a big hunk of just plastic. It makes it difficult.
I don't know if the difference for me, anyways, would change on the Switch. Like, I don't think like that when I'm playing with a console. To me, I feel like I get more sucked into the story than actually thinking about how does this feel in my hands. I've never thought of anything like that before.
Well, you know what we really want to feel in our hands, guys, and we hope you want to feel something in your hands, and that is a Xenoblade Chronicles Edition Pro Controller.
Yes.
There is a gorgeous Pro Controller launching alongside Xenoblade Chronicles 2 coming out later this year, and it is a beautiful pink. It's a lovely pink, and it has a splash of teal. A hint, a splash of teal, and then it also has some, artwork embedded into the Pro Controller, much like the Splatoon version. This is a gorgeous controller. If you guys maybe can, if you listen to this right now, go on Amazon, try and secure yourself a pre-order. I hope you guys can. I acted on it super quick thanks to Wario64. Shout out to Wario64.
Thank you.
If you guys haven't followed this guy on Twitter, go do that right now. This guy has the hottest deals. He will keep you on your toes in regards to all the hot ticket items like the Nintendo Switch, the Super SNES, Super NES, all that stuff that you guys are going to want coming this holiday. And right now, he tweets out the best deals. With that being said, we secured our pre-order of the Pro Controller. We are super excited to have it over here at the Game Looters. Colton, we hope you did too. If you didn't,
sorry.
Sorry? Not sorry, because you didn't order me an Xbox One X, you jerk. But yeah, so I'm excited about having that. So I want to throw that in, and you guys, if you didn't know it existed, go Google it right now. It's a gorgeous looking Pro Controller. So if you have one of these guys, this is something you're gonna want this holiday, especially if you're thinking about even playing Xenoblade. Playing Xenoblade with the awesome looking Pro Controller, sign me up.
Yeah, and the pink on it is so pretty. I'm thinking about taking this remote for myself.
And maybe that'll happen. I'm just gonna be excited about having it in the collection. I'm a weird person like that. Sometimes I just want to have it. I may not even touch it, which is the point of having it.
Yes.
Next item on the list, we have the 8-bit Link, Majora's Mask, Smash Brothers Link. They are getting amiibo reprints. So this I thought was a pretty interesting story. We have these amiibos right here.
Can't see them.
You guys can see them. They can see them a little bit. You can see the Bokoblin. But anyways, they are a ton of Zelda amiibos that you can no longer buy. At least you can't buy them in store. You have to buy them secondhand, and secondhand costs more money.
Yeah.
How much more money? Did you try to procure yourself one of these lovely Zelda amiibos when Breath of the Wild came out?
I did do my research because I really wanted the original Link. And
But you look so cool.
Oh, he does. But nowhere could I find it. And if you did, again, eBay, people were selling it for like $60 to $100.
Yeah, and these things really cost $15.
Yeah. And it broke my heart because I couldn't get a hold of one. But with these reprints, I'm hoping to secure one. So again, Amazon, if you put them on pre-order, please let us know early so we can get one.
Yeah, 100%. And we'll make sure we're following that guy Wario64 on Twitter so we don't miss a beat and we get our newly amiibos, because these things are awesome. I especially want the Majora's Mask one. This is one that I had my eyeballs on when it first came out. I wasn't able to get a pre-order. I wasn't able to find it at Target. I think GameStop had it at one point, but I missed out on it. I was never able to get it, but I'm excited that they're reprinting it. One of the things we talked about earlier was, is it going to be devaluing the ones that are currently out there?
Most likely,
I think it depends.
Well, if they make just a certain amount, it probably won't devalue it so much. But considering Breath of the Wild is still doing so well.
Oh, these things are going to sell.
Oh, no,
like crazy.
I don't doubt it that, they're probably going to have to do 2 or 3 launches for this thing. Or, more than that. But the fact that Breath of the Wild and the Switch are still selling out like crazy, and Breath of the Wild is still, on the number 10 charts, I still think that...
Arguably one of the best games of all time. Arguably game of the year.
Of course. I don't think it's going to drop it too much. But if they make too many, then yes, it can take, a huge hit.
So really what I think is, if they release a special edition, like a Nintendo Select edition of these, if it's a different edition than the original OG amiibos, it won't devalue the original ones, because OG are OG, these aren't, right? If they release reprints that are the exact same, a buyer's not going to know the difference. So these things, they might still be slightly marked up, but they're going to be a heck of a lot cheaper than the current one. So anyways, I'm just happy to nab myself one of them. I could care what kind of print it is. I just want me one of these amiibos. I actually want all of them. And I think that is super awesome that they're doing this. I hope Nintendo looks at all the line of amiibos and reprints the most, the hardest ones kind of to get your hands on, because that would be much appreciated.
Yeah, kind of like Metroid.
Kind of like Metroid. And with that being said, the funnies, right? So one of the things I came across was super funny, unfortunately for the wrong reasons. So there's a little game called Battleborn. When I say a little game, I don't mean any pun intended. It is a little game. It decided to come out at the same time Overwatch did, and be almost like for like, almost the same looking game, almost the same characters. Some say it had more of a MOBA style gameplay mechanic. I don't really think it did. It basically was an almost exact carbon copy of Overwatch, but worse.
I feel it was like one of those things where you borrow your homework from your friend and you just change the name. That's kind of what happened to this game.
What it really is to me is, I went to the Blockbuster when I was 8 years old and I wanted to get a Transformers game for the N64, and I ended up getting some kind of Beast Wars game. It was like a knockoff of Transformers. That's what this is for, the people who should be playing Overwatch. Anyways, with that being said, the developer, he hit the Twitter sphere, hit the news today, and what he said was that they're no longer going to be updating the game. They are still going to be supporting the servers. So if you guys are a Battleborn community member and you guys are active, you guys will continue to be able to play the game that you guys love. But they're no longer going to be updating the game. So I kind of want to read you what he said here. So what he put out there was, I've been working on Battleborn nearly exclusive since 2012. And in some ways, that kind of stretches back to 2009 for me, Varnell said. It's been a long labor of love with many of the good friends at Gearbox, which is the developer that made the game. And they're proud that they shared the journey with everybody in the community. Their spirit and loyalty have been constant inspiration for the team at Gearbox. He went on to say that he thanks the fans for giving Battleborn a chance. And the game underperformed for publisher 2K Games, and its multiplayer element was made free. So this game actually went free to play, and it still didn't reinvigorate the game at all. So it's sad to see that someone who put their blood, sweat, and tears into a game, who probably didn't intend for it to be like Overwatch. It's sad to see that someone who spent that much time on something has to see it go off in failure. But I wish this guy the best, and I wish the developer over there best at 2K. I'm sure they'll be fine. They're a huge developer. I think they're the same people that own the rights to Rockstar, so they're not hurting for money. But as far as the people who worked on it, the team, I wish them the best and the best success, and I hope that they find something else then that doesn't underperform like Battleborn did.
Yeah.
But something that doesn't stop performing, something that just won't stop, it's like a locomotive that just doesn't run out of steam, is PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battleground. So if you guys joined us last week, and we hope you guys did, this was one of the things that has been coming up almost every single episode, is breaking records, selling this, these many players on this, is it gonna break the Dota 2 record? It's getting close to Dota 2 record. It might be the most players ever on a game on Steam record. Did it break it today? It broke the record. So the news just came out that it finally did it.
They're eventually going to end up breaking the internet, is what they're going to do.
They're going to end up breaking their servers. So the title reached 1,348,374 users on September 16th. That's ridiculous. That's a mouthful. They pushed past the old record that Dota 2 held of 1,291,328. So that is also an obscene amount, and Dota 2 set that record back in March of last year. But this is just crushing the Steam charts. And
practically by, what, 60,000?
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's nuts.
And again, congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, Brendan Green, Mr. Player Unknown himself, you killed it, brother. So, I mean, good for them and good for his team. I'm happy to see this because what I want is this on the Xbox. I want it now. So hopefully this just means it's going to go into early access on the Xbox sooner, so the console people can get their hands on it too. Because imagine what kind of numbers they're going to do across the board once they hit consoles too. I can only imagine. There's probably 40 million Xbox Ones out there, so not as much as PS4. But I mean, 40 million, you think 10% plays on there? Maybe 1%? 1% is still like 400,000 to this number. That brings them to almost 2 million. I mean, that's just small. I'm sure like there's gonna be like millions of players on the Xbox that play PlayerUnknown's Battleground.
And I know you haven't played today, so you weren't included in those numbers.
Exactly, and I wasn't on the 16th either because there's been so many games that have been releasing, much like this one right here. Go ahead and check out my Metroid review. Colton reviewed Metroid, and go ahead and see his thoughts. Go ahead and click that button up above right now. We would appreciate it. Much like Uncharted Lost Legacy. hit that button right there. Go check out the review. And we've been playing just a ton of games. I'm gonna stop doing that, I promise. We've been playing a ton of games, so there hasn't been that much time to go back into PUBG, especially right now with Destiny 2. That takes up a lot of my time. I'm still trying to get a feel for it. I want to put the review out for you guys. What I'm thinking is not the next episode, but maybe the one after. Maybe we'll do like a review discussion.
So 15?
Yeah, maybe on episode 15 for you guys, we'll just do a Destiny 2 review episode. That's kind of what I've been thinking in my crazy head over here. We may just do that, cause I don't really want to. I've been playing it for maybe 20 hours now, and I feel like I don't have a good grip to still review it. I still need to do the Leviathan raid. I still need to be able to do that, and I think it's maybe about a 4-hour raid. I think maybe a couple hours, but it's a while, so I don't feel comfortable reviewing the game until I do the Leviathan raid. Once I do that, maybe I will review it, but I still want to have the review discussion on episode 15, and we can at least talk about our experiences. Hopefully you'll have a little time in Destiny 2 by that episode.
Hopefully. If not, then I will jump on earlier than tomorrow.
Yeah, so with that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining LootCast episode 13. It has been a show. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys a lot. We love our community. Thank you so much. If you have, hit that button down there and become a subscriber. Thank you so much for joining the Game Looters family. You guys are one of the looters out there. We definitely appreciate it. If you guys could, go ahead and join on patreon.com/thegamelooters. You don't have to throw us anything, but just become a patron. Just follow us on there. We would appreciate it. Also, check out our Twitter, twitter.com/thegamelooters. I'm constantly retweeting stuff. She's constantly retweeting stuff. Colton's retweeting stuff. Our social media manager out there, our art guy's even retweeting stuff. We're always on there, letting you know the things that will catch you up on the gaming news, and much like Wario 64 deals and a ton of other deals that are out there. We always have that all lined up for you guys, and just make sure you guys check that out and follow us on Twitter as well. And again, thank you guys so much for joining. Do you want to leave them with any
Just don't forget to tune in for next week's episode.
Thank you guys so much for joining. Catch us next week.